Hey everybody, welcome back to Hawkeye Reactions. Today, I have a donation request for an interview with Chris Martin. So this just dropped like within the last 24 hours. So I am going to react to this. Now, this interview is an hour and 6 minutes long, so extremely long for any of us to probably sit straight through. Although I probably could, but I am going to break this up into two videos. So that way, halfway through, I can get up and stretch and maybe go to the bathroom or something. And so you guys can, just stay tuned for about a half hour or so on each video. If you watch the whole video with me, which I hope you do. If you haven't seen this interview yet, which I'm guessing most of you haven't because it just came out. So we're going to react to it. We're going to do this in two parts. So this is part one. And we'll just go until probably, I don't know where. I'll stop it when I feel like it's a good stopping point. How about that? Probably somewhere around the 30-minute mark. Whatever. We'll figure it out. So anyways, I do appreciate this request. I appreciate all my requests, you guys. And I can't thank all my supporters enough for all their love and support on my channel here. I just can't even believe that a dude like me could make a channel and actually get people to want me to react to stuff. So I think it's super cool. Like I said, the support means everything. It truly does. It keeps me going, keeps me able to be doing this, you guys. If I didn't get the support from you guys, I'd probably would be, this would be a very part-time thing for me to do, and I'd be going and getting a full-time job somewhere. So not that I'm making buku bucks yet on doing this, but I'm making enough, and then you got to start somewhere. So appreciate all your love, you guys, and let's just get right into this because this is a long one. Let's go. Anas Bukash.
Hi, Chris.
Assalamu alaikum.
We start with the salam. Usually I end with it. We'll start and end with it. So, first question is my classical question. How are you really doing, Chris?
Oh. Well, first of all, I'm very grateful to see you, and thank you for chasing me around the world. Because I know you came to Korea, and then I said, I can't do it today. So thank you for then coming to meet me in France.
Pleasure.
And I'm really grateful because I have a much more clear head today. Sometimes when we're in the middle of shows, I can't really think about interviews. And so first of all, thank you for being here.
Pleasure.
And I think you're fantastic, and your team is great. How am I doing really? Well, in my life, I'm trying to listen to the teachers that speak about being calm in the middle of all things. Because it seems to me that that's the only way to survive now. Because how I'm doing really is I'm great and I'm terrible, and I'm worried and I'm happy, and I'm concerned and I'm angry and I'm hungry, and it seems to me that I feel so many things all the time. And the teachers that I'm drawn to are the ones that say, okay, you feel all these feelings, but you step back and you observe them and you contain them at the same time. So I'm very in love and I'm very angry, or I'm very depressed about so many things, and I'm also very hopeful. So how am I really the answer is yes.
Hard to be hopeful right now for me.
That's a very good answer because, people approach the question because it makes you pause. When you say, if I walk into the supermarket and say, hey, how are you? Like, yeah, I'm good, how are you? Like, it's such a casual, without a moment thought.
We all do that, you guys. Just admit it. Everyone, anytime you're in public. Hey, how's it going today? Good, how are you? Good. Not too bad. Nobody's ever like, hey, how are you? Oh, horrible. I mean, maybe you get the random person that does that, but come on. We all just kind of put on a front and just say good, isn't that kind of funny how we all do that? I think so.
Okay, I'm good, how are you? Like, it's such a casual, without a moment thought.
Yeah.
But when you say, how are you really, or how are you honestly doing? You're like, okay. then you have to actually take a moment with your own self and be like, yeah, how am I? Like, because do we even ask ourselves that question any day alone, even alone? Like, how is today?
Yeah.
It's a
Do you?
strange thing. I try.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes how are you is just like hello.
It's casual.
Because if you were in the supermarket and you said to the cashier, how are you really? She'd say, who the fuck are you?
Exactly. And on this, vulnerability has its place and moment. If I met you for the first time at that coffee shop and I tell you all of my vulnerable things, it would be awkward and weird. But if you start to earn vulnerability as a friend, you start to like me more. You're like, oh, Anas just shared something about his family that not a lot of people know. And then you share something about you, and that's vulnerability is earned, and it fortifies and builds a relationship.
Well, it's funny, I used to work in a supermarket when I was 19, and I worked in the section, well, you don't have this in Dubai, but in England, there's a section for alcohol and cigarettes. And that was my section. And I don't smoke and I don't drink. So the first few days, people would come in and they would speak another language. I'd be like, I don't know what you mean. And over time, I got to know some of the people who would come in every day. And they would start to be vulnerable. We were vulnerable with each other because you get comfortable. And also people who are needing alcohol every day, they have some things to talk about. So it was really, there was a point in the supermarket where it was a real, how are you really? But not day one.
Not day one.
Yeah.
So,
How are you really?
Me?
Yeah. You're traveling too much?
Traveling a bit. I say there's the nice busy and there's the not so nice busy.
Yeah.
The last period when I saw you the first time, it was really tricky. Like, sometimes I think you would maybe empathize or relate. You know you're heading to burnout. And you're lucky if you catch it before rather than after. And I knew, so I tried to reconcile.
Good.
Yeah. But I'll come back to you.
Okay.
Who are you?
Well,
Guys, I can kind of relate to the burnout thing. Like when I first made this channel, I tried reacting to like 10, 12 or more videos in a day. And I just kept putting them out one after the other, thinking like, oh man, I got to just make as many reactions as I can. But then I kind of like took a step back and I was like, well, if I keep this up, like I'm going to burn myself out. Like, cause it's a lot more work than you think. Like just reacting to these videos. Because you know, after you react, you got to upload them. You got to like fill out all the information about the video and the description and all that stuff, and then you got to, make a thumbnail and that takes some time. My thumbnails are they're not that great. I mean, I try to be creative and, but I don't know. I'm not a very like computer literate kind of guy. So like, I'm not an editor or like a fancy person that can make really cool stuff. Maybe one day if this channel gets big enough, then I could make enough to like maybe hire some kind of an video editor to like make better videos for me. Eventually I'm going to get a better camera and stuff to make better quality videos, but that's not going to, make editing better. Or, some reactors like throw in like some music clips at the beginning and end, and then they got like things that pop up during the video. I don't know, like they got all the fancy crap going on, and I don't know how to do any of that. I'm just going to be straight up honest with you. So mine, I basically just record, I upload it, boom, done. Like what you see is what you get. There's no really editing. There's no editing on my videos. So anyways, the whole point of this was I didn't want to get burned out. And I also wanted to save, I was starting to get more and more like reaction requests, like the paid reaction requests are always take priority over anything. I try to get to my comments and try to react to whatever I can from comments and stuff. I even make a little list. I'll like copy whatever they want and I put it on a little list here, and I try to just get to them when I can get to them. But the paid ones were becoming a little bit more and more. And then I also wanted to save time to be able to like react to the paid ones, because I want to do those ones, as soon as I can for you guys, because you paid money. And there's no reason. I know there's some reactors that you got to wait, like, and maybe this is just because they have that many requests, like way more than me maybe, but there's some reactors that it takes over a month to get your request out, so I don't know. Like, for me, it's like, I don't mess around with that. Like when you guys pay me for a request, like for this video, I need to honor that. Like it's you guys spent your hard-earned money on this video, and I want to respect that by doing it in a timely manner. Now I could probably wait like a week to put it out, and you guys probably wouldn't freak out. Like now, once you hit over like 2 weeks, though, 3 weeks, a month, that's a long time to like. I feel like wait for something you've paid for. So, anyways, I'm rambling now, but I just want to let you guys know that I try to get to your requests as soon as I can. The paid ones obviously are priority for me. So yeah, I don't know if you basically the moral of the story is you guys, if you paid for a reaction and it's been like over 3 days, maybe I'm dead. I don't know, because just saying, I would have gotten into it by now. I would have got to it by now. So maybe check in on me, call the cops or something. No, don't do that. But I am going on vacation this week, so I leave Saturday. So today is what, Wednesday? I leave in 3 days. But I'll be back like the following Friday. I'm only gone like 6 days or so. I'm going to go visit my parents in Maine. I have a nice little getaway there with them. My brother lives out there as well, so I'll get to see him and his kids. So taking a little break, which will be kind of nice, but I'll be ready to hit it full swing when I get back. All right, let's get into this. This is going to be like the longest videos I've ever done.
I'll come back to you.
I love it though.
Who are you?
Well, that's a great question. Do you want me to tell? I'll tell you the truth. The truth is that I've no idea. I don't know how I got here. I don't know how I do this. I don't know how my eyes got blue. I don't know how I was born. I'm part of the universe, just like you are. I'm connected to you and all things, and in the middle of the mystery. That's who I really am. I'm a very confused piece of the universe. And then who am I? I guess in this form, I'm a middle-aged singer, and that's it. So I'm two things. I'm a human, I'm a part of the universe having an experience of being human, and a human having an experience of trying to understand what's going on with no success at all.
Interesting way to look at it. It's kind of true.
Your childhood, if you could summarize it in 3 words.
Yes, very white.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's one. Very white, we'll choose one.
I grew up in the west of England. Then also I had a time where I would go to Zimbabwe, where my mother is from, which is the complete opposite, and busy and chaotic and different types of people and different levels of income, and I'm very grateful for that, because I don't know if I would have known that the rest of the world existed if I just stayed where I grew up. There's a book called Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien, and I always feel like the opening chapters, which are in a place called the Shire, and some people in the Shire, they don't really know anything about outside the Shire. I think that's kind of describing where I grew up. It's beautiful, and the people are lovely. But I think
privilege.
You could feel a little bit like it's sort of a secluded paradise.
And I don't think a lot of people know that you're half English, half Zimbabwean.
I didn't
I
know.
mean, we're all from Earth, really. But my mother is Zimbabwean and my grandfather. How do you define where you're from?
And the lines of countries are virtual lines that we've drawn on maps.
Yes.
But you go out in space, it's one planet with no boundaries, no borders.
That's really the truth.
It's true.
We drew them. When we come back to being one, have you seen that video on YouTube? It's called a pale pink dot or
Yes,
blue, a pale
blue dot.
Blue dot.
Yeah.
And he talks about like the ego and the power thirst and how human beings are fighting, and you're just a speck of dust in this beautiful universe, and all of these wars and quabbles and you're like, for nothing. For what?
Well, that goes back to your first question of who are you? Well, part of you is human, and part of being human is that we have all these crazy emotions and jealousy and rage and greed and fear and love and kindness and joy. So, but it's all part of the mystery. I don't know why we were designed to have these. For example, when you see the pale blue dot, or there's a picture called Earthrise, which is taken from the moon. And I forget which astronaut took that picture.
Anybody see these videos, like pale blue dot and all these? Let me know. Let me know if it's something worth reacting to.
And I forget which astronaut took that picture, but he thought once that photo went around the world that there would be peace, because everyone would realize, oh, we share this one tiny place.
That'd be nice.
But he said he got very depressed because when he came back to Earth, and the photo was famous, but nothing changed. And but that's, you can't criticize that, because that's maybe part of being human, is that we have very terrestrial feelings a lot. And then sometimes we remember, oh wait, we're all essentially on one shipwreck together. But it's hard to remember that if you don't have enough food that day, or someone hurt you, or it's too cold, or your tooth hurts. Even the most Zen, spiritual, Buddhist, amazing meditates. If there's a fly here, you have to. So our humanness is also beautiful, even though it's completely insane.
That's true.
Yeah.
You grew up in a religious conservative family, as I read, and some songs and some music was not allowed. Is that correct?
That's maybe going a little far.
Okay, then explain it for
I think
me.
some of that was maybe me. I think I took it a bit far.
Okay.
There were a couple of songs when I was about 15 I wouldn't sing. I was in a band doing covers, and they wanted to do some songs, and I said, I don't think I can sing that, because it was about evil or about the devil or whatever. And now I realize, it's just a song. But at the time, I
So how did you fall in love with music?
don't know. I just did. And even those songs I refused to sing, I still love those songs. So, maybe, don't you think we're all in love with music from the beginning?
I think I noticed some people are more musical than others. Like, I'm such a musical person with a shitty voice. I just love
Me too.
music. No, let's not even go there. But
Did you ever meet anybody who doesn't like music at all?
yeah,
Really?
like I think it's like maybe it's not I don't like polarizing things. So
This is crazy. Okay, guys, I hate to do this in the middle of a video, but one of the stray cats that always shows up at our house, he's waiting for his food, so I gotta go give him a can of food here real quick. Just fast forward like maybe a couple minutes or whatever till you see me reacting again. Hold on. All right, guys. I am very sorry about that.
So I wouldn't say they might like it less, but they don't relate to it or connect to it too. But I do think music is a human nature thing, because if a baby starts to bounce when it hears a beat, I believe it's from God. It's just like it's natural, you know?
Or if you look at it on a certain level, everything is vibration, everything. So you're made of music in a way, even if you say you don't like it. But I don't know anyone that doesn't. Even the craziest dictators, they still have one piece of music where they're like...
One nice rap song. Yeah.
Even if it's a march, you're the greatest leader. Yeah. They still...
That's so true. And
those guys like marches.
Yeah, that's... But I think it represents other things, yeah.
Here's a tank. They still are having music.
That's true.
We don't do that
music
in America.
Is such a thing for me. And I get along with people who would connect with me also musically.
Yeah.
And you know when you say the term, we're vibing, it's a literal term.
Yeah.
Because if we bring a microscope and I look at your atoms, you're vibrating at a certain frequency.
Yeah.
So that's maybe why we get along and you don't get along with someone else, you know?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. You had, I read, like a cool musical journey. I don't know if you started at 11, that's what I read, but you had a band called the Rocking Honkies, was it?
Yeah, I mean, this is a little embarrassing because none of us knew what that meant.
Okay.
I was 15.
15.
I played piano for a guy a year above me in school who loved blues and R&B and Motown. And I was the piano player in a band called the Rockin' Honkies. And I did not know what that meant until years.
I don't even know what it means.
A honky is a word for a white person.
Okay. Then you had something called pectorals?
No, that's a myth. That was a joke for a day.
And then is it Starfish correct?
Starfish was one concert, yeah.
Okay, and then Coldplay.
Yeah, then I was in a band called Stare, Identity Crisis, Bunga, the Red Rooster Boogie Band, lots of them. And then there was a time when if I did a song on my own, I would use my initials in the middle to respect my father and his father. But then I didn't like that.
Okay.
I mean, I like the respect, but I didn't like putting my initials.
That's cool.
Why did you guys call your band Coldplay?
I don't know.
Oh, really?
It's not a very good name, but it's our name.
Yeah.
My friend was reading a book of poetry and saw this word, like a weird word. He said, you can have this for your band.
And I think with me, Chris, and my ex, who was actually the person who introduced me to Coldplay, I did like this many years ago, but she's the one who's like,
so
this is a really good band. Yeah, she is cool. And she's gonna like this part.
And sometimes I look at our band name and what is that?
It's everything else. It's everything else.
Right.
You know? That's what I realized branding is. It's everything but. Like, it's all the emotions that are attached. Like, you made Coldplay have a certain meaning on this planet. If I am a good guy, I give a certain credit to my name, and if I'm a certain guy, I give another story to my name.
What's your full name?
Anas Bukash.
No middle name?
Oh, there's my dad, Rashad.
Rashad. That's a nice name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anas Rashad Bukash.
What does Rashad mean?
I think the person who's on the right, like, path.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah. And yours?
Anthony John.
Okay.
Pretty boring.
No, it is what it is. Okay, so this was a question I was thinking. After the big rush and adrenaline that you could get on stage, is there a big crash after it?
Yeah. Especially if you're that kind of person where, that's why I don't drink and I don't smoke, because I have a lot of high and low anyway.
That makes sense.
And I have music, so that's like the best drug in the world for me. And then the bigger things get up here, the darker they get down here. So I have a lot of tools and teachers to help with those dark areas, which you have to go to to then go back to the high of music and concerts, but it's a very odd life, and I have to work really hard to try and stay sort of in the middle. But I still go really up and then really down.
No.
How could you not? Because there's so much adrenaline, and
Yeah, that makes sense.
when we do a big show now, it's so exciting, and also for me, it's giving me all this faith in humanity all the time. Like, my job is watching people sing around the world. It's incredible. And then I stop doing that, then I get depressed about the news, or everyone hates each other, or and say, no, I see this happening. So there's a natural high and a low, and then there's a kind of societal high and a low. So I believe in humanity. I don't believe in humanity. I believe in,
My therapist taught me something this week. I was talking to him about, after I had a 2.5-hour interview, but with live translation, so that was a bit tough, because you're listening to two people at the same time. And after it, I got really irritated with my manager because we had work to do, and I'm like, listen, I need at least 30 minutes. I would call them dumb time. I want to be dumb. I want to really be stupid for a bit. And then the therapist put a name to it. He said, he was talking about singers. He's like, singers, a lot of them have alter egos or characters that they need to perform on a certain stage. So you can see themselves do something called the rite of entry. So let's say it's you tie your laces in a certain way, or whatever you need to do to get into this zone, right? Even an athlete. But he's like, a lot of people don't speak about the rite of exit.
No, that's very true. I started that about 10 years ago because it was a real problem.
The exit?
The exit. I didn't have any exit strategy.
And you have to be aware of, I need 1, 2, 3 to feel I can zen back or regulate,
Yeah.
Is Chris the one that is on stage in front of 50,000 or more people the same as the Chris off stage?
Yeah. Yeah. I think so.
That's good and rare.
I mean, I don't dance around when we're talking, and I don't say, what's up? I speak a bit quieter. But I try not to have, maybe on stage is a bit more free. Because I really I don't want to have any inhibition. So maybe off stage I have a little more caution or might be a bit more nervous or a bit more shy. On stage I don't have that. I'm doing what I feel like I'm supposed to be doing. So in a way, because I have a real sense of purpose and a mission, I can't get too insecure. But off stage, I'm human as well, so I have the same worries and insecurities, and so sometimes I feel like I wish I could be him all the time on stage, but then he wouldn't have anything to sing about.
True.
Or nothing to sing about that would be relevant to the audience. Because ultimately you're singing to try and explain or help the human experience. Like, this is how I feel about heartbreak, or this is how I feel about politics, or this is what I think about the universe, or, If you don't have a real life outside of that, you can't really sing about anything.
True.
A lot of what I read, I want to put out, so you help me from your point of view. So, if true or not. So I read that in maybe earlier stages, you could vomit before a show, you get anxiety or imposter syndrome. Is this true?
No.
Okay, good. You see, we need to quash a lot of these things.
Well, imposter syndrome is I think, for all of us all the time, because there is a part of us that is aware that you're not really Anas, I'm not really Chris. We don't really know who we are, like we said. Maybe that's a bit of imposter syndrome. And I think at some points, maybe in anyone's life, you're like, how am I doing this? How am I in a stadium with all these people? I can't do this. But I don't really I sort of have got to, from even when I was 11, when I first started to hear music, I just thought, well, this is a gift, so I don't think I'm anything special. I just have a gift.
Yeah. No,
So I don't have imposter syndrome like that, and I never vomited or anything, no.
well, that's good.
It's good to clear a lot of things that are on the internet.
I don't know. I mean, God bless journalists
would
and
vomit.
people who write on the internet, but I have noticed in my life that most of the things I read about myself are not true at all.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
I know. And if you don't speak, it's easier to throw things and
I like
stick.
to do the occasional interview,
Yeah.
but I also understand the role of journalism and gossip, and it's candy and it's fun, and but when you are a character in those stories, you're like, I don't know who that guy is. Or it's always like a friend of him said. Well, I don't think that's true. But if you want to believe that I vomited and had, fine, I don't mind.
No, I'm listening. I'm listening live, so this is what I want to. Only your words. I saw a video before your career, and it was so nice to see that you chose to be. You choose vulnerability very often, which I love. And you went online with I think an iPhone video, normal video, speaking about depression and what tools that you used to help you.
This was recently in Hong Kong.
I loved it. I saw it when I was in Korea. And you talked about transcendental meditation, which I've tried. You talked about so many tools that have helped you.
Yeah.
So I think, I was thinking, and actually one of my team said, how can like Chris go through depression? He has what society deems success. He has the love of millions. He has money, he has fame, he has. How can he go through depression? And I have, of course, my point of view on that. It's like Mike Tyson said, if someone thinks a lot of money made them happy, they've never had a lot of money.
Right, but do the voice.
No, don't. No,
Sure would probably
I'm not
help,
good.
though.
Maybe you should do. So yeah, like when somebody from the out.
I agree that money doesn't make happiness or whatever, but let's all be real here. If we all had a few $1 million, I mean, it would at least ease some of the pain, But it definitely wouldn't cure it or heal it or anything you're going through if you have depression and all that. But somebody hands you a couple $1 million right now, how many of you would, maybe be happier? I don't know. Maybe some of you wouldn't be. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Would $1 million make you guys happy? I don't know. I know I could sure use it.
You should do. So yeah, like when somebody from the outside looks at your life and says, but how? Can you give them the POV or the insight?
Well, I can only speak for myself, although I want to try and empathize with every other human to understand their journey. I think that, let's take fame. If you grow up and you feel like, I think when we're growing up, we're all looking for the answer. What will make us happy? And some of us are like, if I'm famous, I'll be happy. Because I'll be popular, let's say. Everyone will know me, and that's going to fix all my problems. Then you realize, well, as we get more popular as a band, we also get more unpopular. So as more people love us, more people really hate us. So that cancels itself out. Money, of course, there's a certain level of money which allows you to.
I understand what he just said there, but I gotta feel like there's more people that like love them as they got popular than hated them. I mean, how many people truly hate Coldplay? I mean, there's always going to be some haters out there, but I got to imagine they made a lot more fans and more, people that love them than hated them. I mean, but I get what he's saying. Like, the more popular you get, there are going to be more critics. There's going to be more crap talking about you, for sure, 100%. But I got to imagine the fans that they gained over the years outweighs the negative and the bad fans that they're not even bad fans because they're not even fans. But I don't know. I don't think that quite would cancel out, but I don't know because I'm not him. I'm not Chris. So
money, of course, there's a certain level of money which allows you to eat and look after people, and that is amazing. After that point, it's not going to make you happy. It's maybe it's appealing to a part of you that is not that healthy. You know, if I could have 10 more cars or 10 more houses, I don't know if that is the answer. I've never seen anybody that made them really truly happy. And I think wherever you are, you're still with yourself. And there's maybe the happiest people I've met are not famous or rich, but they're rich inside. And but I think it goes back to what we said earlier. Like, you're always a human, so you always have doubts and fears and worries and pain and illness and loss and grief. And I think there's different solutions for different people. But for myself, I have some good tools to just help me to step back and realize none of this really means anything. Fame, money, it just doesn't. That's not the answer.
I mean, it might mean something, though, if it was all taken away. Like, you know, like, I don't know. Yeah, money's not everything, but unfortunately, in this day and age, money makes the world go around, and we all need money. And unfortunately, things keep getting more and more expensive, and income does not go up with, you know, inflation and all that. So, like, we're really far behind from where we were 50 years ago, you know, and sure, you know, somebody might have only made, you know, $5 an hour way back when, but a cheeseburger was also 25 cents, you know, like, so I don't know. If you look at the numbers, income definitely does not stay with inflation the whole way. Like, we're way up here with inflation. Income's down here. At least here in America. I think other countries do it better, have it right. I know every country has its ups and downs, but yeah, there's probably no perfect way to do it. But all I know is corporate greed, CEOs getting paid more millions, billions, you know, donors, this, that. Well, the little guy gets like nothing. So, and then they wonder why, like, you know, turnover's crazy and they can't keep employees and, you know, all that good stuff. But, you know, God forbid the CEO needs to get his, you know, $25 million bonus at Christmas. So, yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's kind of messed up, really. But whatever.
Means anything. Fame, money, it just doesn't. That's not the answer. And everything I do is given to me, so.
What is the answer then for you?
What is the answer to life?
No.
All right, for me.
For you to feel, I don't want to use the word happy because it could be, I would say, for Chris to have peace of mind and to feel content. And not maybe full, maybe none of us feel full, but full-ish.
I don't have peace of mind at all. It's crazy in here. And I'll tell you why, because even if I feel great one day, I still see millions of people suffering. And those people, we're one family. We really are one family. Now, that's not popular to say right now, because it's easier right now to retreat to your tribe and blame everybody else for your trouble. And the truth is that suffering is the first rule of Buddhism. You're human, so you will suffer. And it isn't necessarily the fault of that other group. It's just part of being human. So I don't have peace of mind because I'm human. And I don't have peace of mind because I see us fighting and blaming and people suffering. So, but I have peace of mind because I understand, well, that's part of the game. And you have to accept that before you can do anything else. So I'm so grateful and so happy, and I love my life. Are you kidding? I'm so lucky. And there's a lot of pain around, and it would be strange if you didn't acknowledge it or understand or try and help or look at it. Or I don't want to live on a desert island and ignore everything that's happening. because we're all a family. Do you agree or not agree?
I agree very much. And I was thinking of how much can, like empathy, Chris, has. Some people ask me, how can you do this show? Like you've done over 300 guests and you hear really some disturbing stories at times. And I think I'm just wired in a way that I'm not as empathetic, but more sympathetic. Like I can actually see it from outside, but like feel, but not immerse. And I think that keeps me sane and I don't fall in the hole. So I'm kind of fortunate about it that I can keep doing those interviews without saying I need 3 months off because I can't, it's just too much. So why am I talking about this? Because a certain level of empathy is so necessary for us to do better for this world, to feel or try to feel for people that are struggling so much. But how much is it affecting you? Is it crippling you or is it affecting you for you to make a change? It's kind of what you said. First you have to acknowledge, but then you have to do something, hopefully, about it, whether it's awareness or help or I don't know. You spread love a lot. You talk. I've been to three or four of your concerts, and I love how you're inclusive.
And you didn't pay for any of those tickets?
No, I have.
You did?
I've paid for things.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
Yes. I did my dues. I did Milan, Abu Dhabi twice, and Korea. Yeah, 4.
I'm paying to do this interview.
You are?
I'm paying you a lot of money.
Love.
Because you said I didn't want to. You said I don't want to interview you.
We're paying this.
I said please.
Paying this.
I'm joking.
Yeah.
So I don't agree with you. I feel like empathy is the.
But how much do you feel that can it make you crumble? You know, like if you really feel, you're destroyed. Like, I don't know.
That's not my experience is the more I empathize, the less I have to hate anybody. And hatred is much more tiring for me. Empathy for me is the step towards love, which is really, it seems to me, the only answer. As I get older, I feel that's really the only answer is love. Now, I don't mean that in a kind of, I mean as in, how can you love what's happening? How can you love this person that you don't agree with? How can you love this situation, which is terrible? As opposed to hating something, which probably means you'll add conflict to a conflict, or you'll add aggression to aggression. And that doesn't work. That's adding fire to fire. So to me, love just means what is the action in this situation which will increase understanding and connection. Now, that's easy for me to say because that's my job. And I see that every day when we're touring, and I see it all around the world in different places. So it's very easy for me to say, oh, you just find the thing to love in every person, or you empathize with why you don't like I don't like this person, but why? How are they this way? So I can love their journey. That I have a much easier perspective on that because I mainly see people singing and dancing.
The problem with, like you said, hate, it's like a cancer. It eats at you before anybody. It's a burden on you before the other. The other is probably chilling. You're the one suffering. What is it? What was it? Healed people, heal people, hurt people, hurt people.
Yeah, that is really true. So right now in the world, it's tempting it's so easy to hate everybody. So maybe the opposite is the answer. I think for people of my generation, Nelson Mandela is the most important figure because of his idea of truth and reconciliation. That when he came out of prison after 28 years, instead of hating everybody and killing people and putting people in jail, he said, okay, we'll sit together and we'll talk about our experiences. That is the most powerful. That's how you become great. That's a great man. Wow. Like 28 years in prison, and you're going to come out and listen to the story of your captor. Wow. Now, if that's Nelson, if he can do that, then anyone can do that. Especially if, like you were saying earlier, especially if you have a job like we both do, where you just travel around the pale blue dot and you realize this is a tiny place and we're all together. And if you go back 20 generations, we probably share some ancestors. And if you go back 30, we definitely share. There is no us and them. That's an illusion created by people who want to have power. And they want that power because they got damaged and they feel like they need power to be. It's all, you can love everybody if you work hard enough, but it's hard work.
I did my DNA test and I was so diverse.
Are you my brother?
Probably cousin somewhere. It's crazy. And I was thinking, Chris, like, how can anybody be claiming purity or like, I'm just from this country, we're only from here? Like, nobody, you're all so mixed.
Yeah.
It's like theoretically, you can't be racist. You can't. You're not supposed to, because you're so mixed. You can't claim that you're only from one tiny area and nobody.
Because you're not.
You're not. So I remember taking my screenshot and putting it on my social, and I wrote a whole caption like, I don't understand where racism comes from. And the moment you realize that we're all mixed.
Well, so so you have 2 parents, 4 grandparents, 8 great-grandparents, 16 great-great. By the time you get to 20, you have a million people.
Yeah.
And by the time you get to 30 generations, you have, whatever it is, more people than there were on Earth at that time.
It's crazy when you think about it like that, you guys.
So the concept of race is made up. It's just not real.
There's this weird survival mechanism with humans. I think it goes back to maybe the caveman. Like, it's the penalty was ousting somebody or kicking them out of your tribe. So humans have this natural instinct to like, hey, we're a group. We love hip hop. You like R&B, and you start to create these cliques against each other. It's very natural, but it's not good.
No, but don't you think that comes from a sense of we all want to feel seen and we want to feel like we belong? And 8 billion people is too big of a group to feel like you belong to. It's easy to feel like I belong to this. We wear black pants and sunglasses and we call ourselves the friendly brothers. That's my group. And really the group is human, but it's hard to feel special in a gang of 8 billion.
That's true.
But you are in that gang, I think. But like I said, I also respect that I have a very privileged perspective and I travel all the time and I meet literally millions of people. So it's easy for me to say that.
I'm not going to take too much on this, but a lot of people ask me, why do you do this show? And I realize we're probably, I don't want to claim it, but most probably the most diverse interview show because of the variety of human beings that have been. Like, it's crazy. I even live translate just to get another human that doesn't understand me. I want to make people feel not alone, that there is, if you talk about depression, somebody's watching this and be like, oh, I went through something like that. So I'm not alone. No, you're not alone. If I sit with a guy in Africa or Taiwan and I ask him about love, about success, about family, he's human. He's going to stay for another half an hour telling me, because we all share that. And if I can do that via my show, I increase empathy. And I read it in the comments. They'll be like, I love Chris, now I love him more. Or I hated this person, but now I like them. I'm like, you see?
I used to see that all the time with my father because he grew up in the Second World War. So he grew up hating German people and said, the Germans. And then anytime we would go on a camping holiday in Europe, sometimes we would come to France actually and go camp in a tent. And he would always make best friends with German people. And they would have the best time. So I saw, there's the kind of received, like, this is supposed to be your enemy, and then there's the actual human connection. And when you meet, some of his best friends are German now. But he grew up like, I must remember to hate the Germans.
I must remember to.
Yeah. And only by the privilege of travel or connection can you see, well, that's not real. That the concept of them, us and them is only works when you don't actually meet them. But if you're lucky enough to meet people, it's very hard to hate anybody or to think of them as different. The most important story that I ever learned as a kid, and I'd say this to me is how I feel about life in general. if you ask me to summarize what I think about human life, it would be this. This is a very famous story where I come from, but maybe not where you come from. In the First World War, in 1914, there was a big frenzy. We're going to have a war. And everyone had all these arms and guns, and war was seen as very, great. Let's have a war, maybe, by some people. And so the First World War started, and all these young men, young men filled with national pride, and we have to go and destroy the Germans, and all the young Germans we have to destroy, all in a excitement. We have to beat these people and kill them. And on Christmas Day, 1914, all the guns, they stopped firing. And the English soldiers heard the German soldiers singing Silent Night, the carol, Silent Night, or Stille Nacht in German. And then they started singing, and they both came up and met in the middle of the battlefield and played soccer and talked to each other. It's a very famous story where we come from. And that to me is, and they had Christmas together. It makes me cry. And then the next day, all the big bosses, they heard and they said, you can't do that anymore. Because it broke through all of the silly stuff that we do as humans was erased for that day. And we were taught that in school, and I think for me that always is the thing that gives me hope, is that underneath everything, underneath all the constructions of countries, nationalities, race, religion, all the things that keep us cleverly divided by some clever sociopathic people, underneath all that is a shared connection and a shared experience and a shared love and a shared fear. And I'm lucky that my job, I see that every day. That's my favorite story about humans. Yeah. Christmas Day, 1914.
Cool. That's a great story.
The end. Okay, let's go home.
All right, guys. I think that's where we'll end this one, part one. About 40 minutes into this interview here. So there's still another like 26 minutes or so. There will be a part two coming out very soon, so stay tuned for that, you guys. This video is almost getting to an hour. Now, part of that was I had to pause to go feed a cat outside. I apologize again for that, but he shows up like once or twice a day, and I just feel bad if I don't get him some food. So anyways, I had to go do that. Sorry. But this is a very interesting interview, and we'll just see what part two brings you guys. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for joining me. If you're still watching, I truly do appreciate it. And I'll see you on part two. All right, guys. Bye.